Painting your own stuff isn't hard. You just never been shown. Now I'm sure with everything skyrocketing, buying project cars, everything's getting a lot harder, more expensive, and I'm sure the last thing you want to do is pay a fucking body shop to, oh, paint my bumper. You know what they're gonna charge you? Oh, it's $1,200. We need to color and match and disassemble. We need to get the materials, all this other nonsense. These bumpers are not hard to paint at all. I guarantee within this video you can at least paint something on your own. Now if it's quality or not, it may take a few tries, but we'll show you how to do it on my bumper. Now once you unboxed it, got everything ready, now you look over your bumper carefully. So the biggest things will be the molding. Around like the edges of it, there will be like excess plastic, and it's not going to look very good on your vehicle. So if you just want to, you can take a razor blade and very, very carefully just trim off the excess where the molding was. You can paint it. It's not going to look good in my opinion, but if you're just practicing and you just have a random bumper laying around, who cares? Next thing you want to look at is license plate holes. Everybody hates these. Some states require them. I won't speak my opinion on that, but if you want to fill these, now's the time while you're repairing everything else. If there is any damage, if not, great, awesome. You won't have to worry about this step very, very much. But go ahead and fix the license plate holes, any other damage. Like we do have one scrape right here, one right here. I think that's pretty much about it, but there's not really much damage to this bumper, so we'll go ahead and get license plate holes fixed and a little scratch fixed. Now one key thing to note that this is raw plastic. So whenever you do go to repair on any of this specifically, note that if you go really, really aggressive on this, it's going to tear into the actual plastic itself and you're going to have to prime it. The easiest way will be canned primer. I don't recommend it, but you can find a nice 2K primer or even a 1K little high build can just to get by if you're practicing, or if you want to do it, which was probably what I'll do because it does work if you know how to apply it, make sure everything has a chemical bond, mechanical bond, and all that nature and what your material does. So we'll go ahead and get these fixed. Now, first what you want to do before we pretty much even start is, find your bumper. There's going to be lots of different types of bumpers, brands, people you can get it from, OEM, non-OEM, takeoffs, etc. This bumper right here is from my 2013 Mustang. If you saw the previous video of me going to pick it up, this is what this is for. So this is it's not an OEM bumper. It's actually the cheapest bumper I could find just to prove a point. So this is from carparts.com, I believe. It was the cheapest bumper on the internet, new. It was $170 shipped to my door, let alone with the other stuff that I ordered and mentioned, like the impact absorber, etc. Anyways, that's besides the point. So pretty much the first thing you want to do is, get it out of the packaging, unfold it. Most of the time when you buy used bumpers like this, it will be folded in the box unless you buy actual OEM or Keystone, Kappa certified, whatever nonsense. Mine came folded. I absolutely hate people who do that, etc. I hate the strong word, but I do mean that literally. Best ways to get it out is if you do have a stand, you can get them from Harbor Freight for fairly cheap, $30, $40 I think, and they last pretty well. I have a couple at my house. Today we're at the shop just because I have access to it, and it makes the life a little bit easier. But you can do this at the house. I've done plenty of stuff there. Yeah, so if you can see in this clip right up here where I'm showing you is me having it in my backyard, unfolding it, just letting the sun bake it because it's like 100-something degrees here. Another way you can do it is to take a heat gun and sit there and gently, keep in mind this is plastic, so you really want to be careful if you do it this way, but take your heat gun and just kind of warming up the spots and unbend it and shape it how you would, unshape it how the bumper would form. One of the things I like to do, I don't know if this is necessarily a common thing or not, but I like to take my bumper when I get it unfolded as best as I can and just fit it up to the car and leave it to sit just so it forms and everything. Plus you want to test fit and make sure all the tabs line up, everything's fit and everything, like your grills and stuff fit in your bumper, all the fog lights, accessories, anything else. So this is what I'll be using for my kind of like a spot repair thing. It's made for rock chips and etc. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's Combi Buddy from Sitkins. I mean, pretty much a lot of people make this kind of stuff, but it's made for like rock chip repair and everything before you prime it. It's pretty simple to use. All you do is take off the cap, take your razor blade like I have here, scrape off a little and just swipe it in the hole, then you'll sand it. It's kind of like Bondo, but it's only a one part, so you just have to wait for it to dry. So that's what I'm not sure how well you're gonna be able to see this, but I'll try to show it. If you can see the little excess that's hanging behind my hand, you see that? Right. Yeah, so that's actually where they broke off the mold for the bumper. So if you just want to go around your bumper with a fine razor blade, and you can just trim it all off. Make sure not to dig into your bumper or any of these tabs where stuff does mount, or you'll kind of mess things up. Now, before I get ahead of myself, during this prep stage, you will need a few things. So obviously you'll need kind of an assortment of sandpaper and some Scotch-Brites, red and gray. The difference between red and gray is depending on brand, but this is the equivalent to 400 to 500 grit, and the gray one's equivalent to 600 to 800 depending on what brand. But just know you do need an assortment. Obviously, I'm probably going to be using, this one is primed as they call it, but I'm probably going to be using the red Scotch-Brite because I am going to be using sealer. But pretty much all of this phase you can do by hand, so you really won't need much, but it is labor intensive. You can use a DA, like an orbital sander on this, but I wouldn't recommend it since it is raw plastic. So just make sure you get every single spot good and well done with this if you don't have any kind of body work or anything. So now that you've gotten to this point, it is easier before you go ahead and take it to wherever you're painting, or if you're painting it right here, to grab an air blower if you do have one. If you don't, the next part might be a little tricky if you don't have an air hose or a compressor or anything, but go ahead, blow off your panel. Then it makes the whole cleaning step a lot easier. So the next part of this is going to be your prep and cleaning. The prep as in your cleaning anyways. There's two options of this really. Clean is clean, but you want to use the right stuff. The easiest one is going to be your spray away glass cleaner or any kind of glass cleaner. I prefer this one just because it foams up, it's nice and easy to use, and it's always worked for me no matter what. If you do have a little bit more money and want to get something a little bit nicer, a little bit more efficient I guess, but it still works either way, you can get like some wax and grease remover of any kind. This is some $139 from Lenco. You can get this stuff pretty cheap as well, but for video's sake, I'll go ahead and use the spray away glass cleaner to show you it does work. Either way. So on this step, when I say clean, this is another one of those things where depending on how good you want this to be will be on you. I'm gonna spray it right here just to show you don't need a booth, even though we do have the booth and it's open, but just like one of my other videos where I sprayed that pearl, I'm gonna do it in here and show you that you can get a clean paint job in a dusty, pretty bad environment, but I would not recommend it, because if you do accidentally hit that one dust spot or anything, all that dust is gonna shoot up, get in your paint and everything. So from here, once you got it all clean and everything, you're 100% that's clean and ready to go. You want to get you some plastic adhesion promoter. As I said in the last one, I've used dozens of these and they're all the same in my opinion, but if you want to have that extra security and insurance, you can go buy a nice highly rated branded one. This is Duplicolor. Everybody knows Duplicolor. If you want, here you go. This is what I'm using. So you just want to go pretty much all over the bumper and make sure you have it cured. Anything plastic at all that you're gonna paint, you're gonna need some of this. If you don't, you have the chance, a high chance of it flaking off, peeling, not sealing anything from that nature. So get you some adhesion promoter. So you're ready to start mixing your paint. So before paint, obviously on something like this, you're gonna wanna use sealer. Sealer is just pretty much sealing everything that you did, all your body work, everything together, so you can apply your paint over the top of it. So luckily my work has pretty much everything I need, but I can't use their stuff, so I had to go buy my own stuff. You can go buy it, you can use any kind of sealer. The kicker behind that is depending on what color you're spraying is going to depend on what color sealer you're going to use. For any of your darker colors, you're probably going to want to use a black sealer as like a black base pretty much. If you want to do like white or maybe some brighter yellows or something like that, you're gonna want to use gray or white sealer. In this case, I haven't decided yet. I think since it's like a bright silver, I think I'm gonna do white sealer, just so it'll brighten it up more. Another thing about plastics is plastics. In my experience, plastics never match no matter how hard you try, unless you're gonna blend in to pretty much the whole front of the car. It is a plastic; they're gonna look different. That's just the name of the game. But you can get it close. That's not saying you can't get it perfect, but I'm just throwing that information out there. Any painter is gonna tell you different. Every painter is gonna have their own type of way, any kind of way. So we'll get the sealer mixed up, then we'll go ahead and get the spraying. So also another thing to note before, there we go, lighting. Also another thing to note before you do go ahead and mix your sealer and stuff, make sure you read your TDS sheets, which is your technical data safety sheets or technical data specification sheets, to make sure you have the right mixing ratio and what it's used for, your flash times and anything of that nature. So this stuff is mixed to a 4-to-1 ratio with 4 parts sealer and 1 part hardener. I did decide to go ahead and use white sealer, but depending on what temperature and everything is depending on how you're going to want to do this in order. So it is very hot here, so I have a very limited flash time with this stuff, and if you let it flash too long, you're not going to be able to put your base over it. So you just want to have your base on standby if that's the case like me. I'm probably just going to mix it as it is because because I'm not worried about it. But I'm going to go ahead and get your sealer mixed up and you're ready to spray pretty much your first coat. So once you get to this point, you have your gun loaded, or your paint sprayer, your cup, everything loaded, however you decide to do this out of an air gun. Or if you want to do it out of the can, this is pretty much the same step as a can. You spray your can, then once you get to the clear part of it, same fucking thing. Go ahead and get this loaded. Make sure, always check your air pressures, your fluid, your fan pattern, and everything else before you start spraying. Typically it's one nice even coat for sealer. Make sure you get good coverage with it. Sometimes you can do 2 if you need to, but I just always do 1 good coat. So take your time spraying. There's no need to rush. Just make sure you get every nook and cranny. Don't feel bad if you do mess up, because bumpers are not the easiest to spray when they're like this. Normally I use a bumper stand, but really don't have one at the time, so made do with what we got. But that's the first coat of sealer. I think that's the only one I'm gonna do because I got good coverage. So you go ahead and mix up our color. Essentially, this step for your base coat is essentially gonna be the same thing as your sealer, but on this, you do not want to try to get full coverage on the first pass. You just want to lightly kind of mist it on, still get coverage, but not like, oh, I'm going to cover the whole thing in one coat kind of thing. So you're going to need a little bit of base coat, but doing it this way is going to look so good. So obviously we got the ingot silver, code's UX. Good. We got 18 ounces of this, so there should be plenty, hopefully. If not, we can mix a little bit more, but yeah, we'll get this laid down. I'll kind of show you the first coat. It's just gonna be kind of misted on, not too much. So it's gonna kind of look like I sprayed a lot, but I really didn't spray too much, to be honest. Just a light, nice first easy coat. So, sorry, it's kind of hard to breathe in here, but fumes will get you real quick. But here, let's just. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's why I say you need nice ventilation if you can, because that shit will mess you. Ooh, look at all them sparkles on the camera. You see me better now, but nice, easy first coat. Nothing, you don't have to get coverage the first coat, but after spraying it over white, I think I should have done black, but we won't really know until the end. I'll show you a good trick to make sure you got full coverage. You just turn off all the lights and use a flashlight to make sure you got coverage. Ooh, that's a wasp. Hell no. But industry standard, depending on who you ask, is normally 2 coats of base, but I just go till it covers or matches, so easiest way to do it. Pretty much will keep you posted until we get to the clear. So clear coat on this step is a little bit trickier, as you can see. You just want to take your time and nice and spray evenly, because this will run off if you spray way too much, and you'll notice fairly quickly. So just nice, even, light coats. Now, depending on if you're happy with this or not and got full coverage, you can stop there, or you can keep going. I normally do 2 to 3. Like on my other car, I did 5. I wet sanded the fuck out of that one. So this one I'm not doing. I just need it to be one color so it can be a track car. So I'm probably just gonna throw another coat on there because I have some extra in the cup and call it a day. Back. This bumper is glassed out. It might be a little bit brighter than this, which I'm really not worried about, but we'll go ahead and get that back together. But first, let me get this washer reservoir put back up in here, because this one is slightly damaged, even though I'm probably not going to use this, but I like to replace it. But there's a bolt here, a bolt right there, and a bolt up here. Then it'll just pop out after you unplug this. There you have it. I do have the bumper on. It's pretty close to matching. The side tone's a little off, which means like if you look at it from the side angle where the light's hitting, it looks a little bit brighter, but the other half of it looks fine. So I mean, I don't really care. It's good enough for not bringing anything to paint match or anything like that. But if this video helped you in any other way, or if you have any more questions for me or any tips or anything I skipped over really, which is a big possibility, feel free to comment below and just let me know what you need advice on. If I can answer it, I will be more than happy to. Thanks.